Let's do this. What's up, Stu? How are you?
I'm good, Jim. I'm taking the rest of the year off.
Well, then what are you doing here? You can't take the
After
day
this,
off if you don't start in the morning.
I, yeah.
It's like drinking. You
After
can't drink
this,
all day if you don't start at breakfast. So I heard, and so I've seen on many cruises. So this is it, Stu.
I
After
know.
after this, we're shutting down the lights for a couple of days, and this is it. I'm gonna go put down the deposit on my new minivan. Woohoo!
You'll. I'm telling you, you'll like it. I don't
I,
have one, so I can't be honest with you and say it's the best thing I've ever purchased.
well,
But my friends who have one went in fighting, like, I don't want to get one, don't want to get one, and then they're like, you know what? It's pretty darn handy.
so I sent Terry. It's actually not my minivan. It's Terry's minivan. And so I sent her. I'm gonna send you. I sent her a text. I said my van. Okay, you know what that is?
No.
That's the A team van.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
I
cool.
said,
Yeah.
okay, so that my van. That's what I sent to
Yes.
her,
Okay.
right?
Gotcha.
And then I sent her another one that says your van, and you got. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's going to be interesting, but it concerns me a little bit because now, I mean, what's up, Paul? The problem is that any vehicle now is basically just a computer with wheels and a seat.
Yeah.
And so there's so much crap that can break. It's like it violates everything that we hold dear now of simplicity.
Agreed.
And it's got computers for the computer. And I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, it's comfortable ride and fuel efficient and all that other stuff, but it just scares the crap out of me because you can't do anything
Mm.
to
Yeah.
it. You can't fix anything yourself.
True.
And then I think about my little '89 Festiva the only garage kept car I have that's right downstairs, and it's like I can actually fix that thing myself. I know how
Oh,
to clean the points. I know how to change the spark plugs. I can change out the distributor. I mean, it's got a distributor cap. It's got a carburetor. It's got all these things that I know how to work on.
that makes sense.
Yeah,
Combustion was
exactly,
like dealing with a lawnmower. It's like
exactly.
same concept.
100%. So I don't know. It is what it is, but I'm not having old man-itis. But this is it for the year, Stu. This is it. We need to talk about a few things to help the folks. And I think that what's up, C Ray? Happy New Year. I'm gonna let you go first
Okay.
and talk about what you want to talk about, what you're doing for the first three. And I will warn everybody that this is not one of those end of year podcast episodes where we're going to tell you to set your goals and to take massive action starting tomorrow.
Right. I promise you that it won't be that. In fact, um, Jim, it's quite the opposite. I
Uh-huh.
I I wanted to do something that is hard to do. I mean, I tend to get up and go after it and get as much stuff as I can done.
Uh-huh.
And 25, was a good year. It sucked towards the end, with some dealing with my dog and still deal with family stuff, but business was good, you know. But when business goes well, it doesn't mean it gets less stressful. You,
Yeah.
and so what I have decided to do is listen to my own advice and not overdo it.
Okay.
Pull back a little bit. And so what I mean by this, I wrote this article because between Thanksgiving and New Year, how busy hell have you been
Oh,
between
me?
Thanksgiving and New Year? Everybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
It just,
Busy as hell with a
I
whole
mean,
bunch of stuff.
I mean, not just end of year business stuff, deadlines, um, travel, people coming over to your house, eating all your food. Yeah.
I wish they would, then I wouldn't have eaten all the treats.
I'm just kidding. But all of that's still stressful,
Yeah.
and it's just the way it is. And then if you go anywhere, it's everybody's in a rush, everybody's in a hurry, everybody's kind of grumpy. The couple of weeks before Christmas, everything's busy. You have to wait in line for everything just about. So anyway, I decided I need to chill out.
Okay.
I need to take the next 3 weeks, and I put 3 weeks in there just because it's a challenge. Also, the 21st is my birthday, so I'm just going until my birthday. So I got another like goal. I'm going to chill out till my birthday. So 3 weeks.
The birthday chill out challenge.
Yeah, the birthday chill out challenge. So it's a New Year's challenge of making my workouts easier, more mobility day type stuff, stretching, foam rolling, massage tooling, non-impact cardio, nothing crazy. You can still break a sweat, but don't go crazy like I normally do. Eat well, sleep well, um, stretch throughout the day. End your day early and get the phone out of your hands and just maybe read a book or two. And just kind of relax. I think I need to unwind.
Stu, this
Whether
flies in the face of traditional end of year wisdom. What?
well, I will tell you this. With that, and I happen to do a little bit of you know memorizing previous New Year's, and they're
Mhm.
all this stressful, right? Between Thanksgiving and New Year is a stressful thing. In fact, I usually give the goal of try not to gain weight between Thanksgiving and New Year's.
Right.
If you cannot gain weight during Thanksgiving and New Year's, you've achieved a really good goal. Because most of us put on about 5 pounds during that Thanksgiving and New Year's
I
time,
wish.
and on average. Um, so it's just stressful, and 9 times out of 10, most everybody's starting a new goal, a new challenge, dropping bad habits, trying to create new habits, all while super stressed, right? It takes a few weeks to unwind and actually de stress. So I am focused on my last article that I just wrote, is all about this. In fact, I'll share it here in the comment section for you. It's a funny little title says, "What am I doing January 1 through 21? The Pursuit of Recovery." And it's a picture of me sleeping, right? So check that out. It gives you some good ideas on, how to eat well, how to sleep well, get your room ready for sleeping, your mind ready for sleeping, how to eat and drink so you can sleep better. So it all comes down to sleeping well to fully recover. So I am fully engaging the pursuit of recovery the first 3 weeks of the new year.
What's up, Arthur? Um, I, it's interesting, flying in the face of everybody feels like they should go balls to the wall. And I thought of something this morning while I was doing mobility with my grandson, and I was like, man, stuff doesn't hurt. It's feeling better.
Yeah.
And I thought about a microcosm of life, and that is a 1 week cruise.
Mm,
Okay. So just stick with me for a second.
okay.
So a 1 week cruise can actually be a microcosm of a whole year, especially if you want to go to the gym. So you get on the cruise ship and you're all excited the first day, which really isn't the first, they count it as a day, but it's really just getting on and then sitting around until your room's ready and then hoping your luggage shows up. But you're all excited. I mean, you're pumped. It's the first day is the best day of the cruise because you have the entire cruise out in front of you.
Yeah.
So then on the next day, assuming it's you go on a Saturday, then on a Sunday, everybody's like, ready to frickin' go. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to work out every day on the cruise. Nothing's going to change. I'm going to keep my sleep schedule. I'm going to watch what I eat and I'm just going to hit it. You know, this is going to be awesome. So you go to the gym and there are no machines and everybody's camping on the machine. They're sitting there, you know, texting and looking at their phone. And you walk up to them and say, how many texts you got left before you're done with your set? And that's a way to make friends, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um,
Everybody loves you.
and everybody's in there and they're getting it right. And then everybody's getting fruit off the buffet and everything, and they're ignoring the pasta. So then, gradually over the course of the whole week, by Friday, so you're going home on Saturday, everybody's day drinking. Okay. Everybody's got two plates coming away from the buffet. All the fruit is still there, and you're literally seeing people stacking pasta on top of pizza on top of pasta, making like a layer cake of pizza and pasta with like gravy on it.
Mm.
And it's all going, and the shirts are tight, and everything's gone to hell. Okay, I'm not saying I know this from firsthand experience, having done it. Oh, and they got a liquor bottle in their hand.
Oh
So
damn.
what I'm saying is, if we, what I'm hearing from you, Stu, is that instead of tomorrow bashing your head against the wall, getting out the door to get to the gym, maybe plan some stuff out and not, I don't want to say, you know, ease into it, but maybe ease into it a little bit. Because if you hurt yourself, you're screwed. If you overdo it, you're screwed.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you're you also talk about one day versus day one.
Yeah.
Okay. But one day, explain that concept real quick.
Well, a lot of people always, say, "Hey, I'm gonna get in shape one day," and I
Right.
said, instead of saying one day, why don't you make today day one?
Right.
And that can still go. Tomorrow can still be day one. It's not like I'm not going to work out tomorrow. I
Right.
am just going to dial it back, focus on some recovery, non-impact cardio instead of running more. It's
Right.
just going to be a little deload compared to
Right.
what I normally do, and
Which is to go
that's
ape shit with the start of the
oh
winter
yeah,
lift cycle.
right,
Let's hit
exactly,
it. And I think that that's a really good distinction to make, is that, okay, let's be smart this year. Let's take some smart action instead of just blindly charging ahead. So what might smart action look like, Stu? Well, I'm glad ask me that.
Jim. What
Yes.
might smart action look like? Are we
Well,
talking about business now?
I think we're just talking about life.
Okay.
Okay. So if we're talking about smart action,
Mm,
what might that look like? Well, Stu, let me tell you, without the aid of any AI, I'm going to break it down for you.
I like
Okay.
it. I like it.
So A in action stands for aim. Where are you trying to go? What are you trying to hit? What's the target? Define the target clearly. No fog, no guesswork, nothing. So maybe tomorrow, instead of blindly running off, you might define what your aim is for whatever you're doing, whether it's physical or business wise. You know, if you
Yep.
sit down and really define and get a great, clear mental picture of what you're trying to do, that's a lot better than just sitting down and burning out. And so I'm going to write a sales letter. I'm going to do the, blah, 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 blah. Come up with a plan, come up with the target. Okay. In
Yep.
fact, delete what I just said. Don't come up with the plan, come up with the target. Clearly define what the hell you want to do. And I typically think about it in a few different areas. What's my number one objective for business? What's my number one objective for physical? What's my number one objective for family? And what's my number one objective for spiritual? Okay. The business and the financial one kind of go together. That's why I don't split it out. Okay.
Right.
So just those three, four really clear pictures of where you're going. Ideally, so clear that you could close your eyes and visualize it, because that's going to be really, really important moving forward this year. Is every day you got to visualize where the hell you're going. Okay. And I've
Yep.
talked about this in the past. I don't want to get too far into the 5 steps to getting anything you want. The first thing you got to do is define the aim. Where are you going? Next, you got to commit. That's the hardest thing for anybody to do, because that means commitment means deciding, it means cutting off from other possibilities, and you got to commit to reaching that aim. You got to commit. And a lot of times that's really hard, because most of us love to live in the world of all possibilities,
Mm.
when and it could be amazing, and I could win the lottery, and I could partner with this person, and I could be a supermodel, and all these things. Whereas if you clearly define what you're aiming at and you commit to it, you are basically doing the third thing, which is to trim everything else away. You cannot do everything. And see, a lot of people see this as risky. Well, if I aim at this one thing and I commit to doing and I trim all the other stuff, what if it doesn't work out? Hey, you're sure as hell not going to do everything. You're sure as hell not going to reach every goal. You might as well choose one and bust ass for it. Okay. The I stands for ignite. And ignite means take a single action, a bold action today towards that aim, because that's going to reinforce the commitment, and it's going to put you into momentum so that you automatically stop doing that other stuff. Okay. The O in action, look at this, Stu. It's like I know what I'm talking about.
I like this.
The O in action stands for you got to own it. Own it. Own the results. Own the actions. Take responsibility. No blaming. No waiting. Okay. That's the other thing. Everybody sits around and waits. Stu's not advocating sitting around and waiting. What he's advocating is get your body right, get your mind right, get rid of the stressors and the pain and stuff, so that you can on the 21st bang your head again. No, I'm just kidding. But but I understand what you're getting at
Yeah.
is, you cannot maintain that operational tempo indefinitely. There
No.
has to be a breathe in, a breathe out. There has to, if there's a time of compression, there's got to be a time of expansion. You can't always be like this. It doesn't work. And then finally, the N stands for nail it. That means you keep hitting it until
Hmm.
you get
Nice.
the result. Okay. You finish strong, you lock in that win, and then you can repeat the process. But that's what action is. It's not, hey, run out and go ape snot and just make yourself insane, which is what I've tried to do for over 50 years.
Easily.
It's not smart anymore. And I'm telling you, with the AI and with just everything that's going on in the world, we got to be smarter and we got to be more strategic, because just adding to the noise isn't going to do it anymore. You're not going to be able to make it on just blunt force trauma, inflicting blunt force trauma on the marketplace or on yourself. It's
Right.
just not going to work. So figure out what the heck you want, commit to the thing that you want, trim away everything else, take some bold action today, own the results, good and bad. Okay. And then nail it. Keep going until it's done. So that's how you take action, Stu. Now,
I like that.
I want to talk to you about a couple of things that people run into. Okay. And that is, they're like, okay, well, I can do that, Jim. But Stu's staying, it sounds like Stu's way is too slow. It's too short. Okay, well, here's the deal. Here's your goal. Okay, at the top of the mountain. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can do this. In order to get here, you can take the long way, okay, or you can build some stairs. And people confuse slowing down, having a plan, and then executing a plan with being lazy or it's going to take me too long or other stuff like that. They just start running. And the problem is you can know where you're trying to go, but you're still running in the wrong direction. So there's like two traps you can run into. One is the people on the Sunday working out on the cruise. Okay, those people burn out. These are the people who've quit on their goals by the 15th of
Mm-hmm.
January. Okay. So that's the I got to do this, going crazy and stuff. Then you got the other people that are like, okay, I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna take my time. Okay, they take the turtle approach. And the problem with that is that they spend too much time internally instead of taking action. So, what we really want to do is we want to have the happy medium. And the happy medium with this is that you take whatever this goal is and you break it down into steps, literally. You may have to learn something, you may have to work your way up to something, you may have to earn a relationship, you may have to develop a skill, you may have to work your way up so you can invest in a tool or something, but take the time to come up with the plan of the steps, and by breaking it down it makes it a whole lot less scary of how hard it's going to be to get up there, and then you literally just take it one step at a time. And I know that sounds elementary, but how many people give up on their goal, give up on the thing they're going for because they feel totally overwhelmed by the process? And the way they tried to overcome the overwhelm was just to take massive action, but they take massive action without a step-by-step plan. So, the example of that would be, hey, Stu, go write a sales letter. And you're
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
okay, I can. I mean, I've done it before, but as soon as I say that, hey, Stu, I need you to write a sales letter for that new course that you're coming out with. What is your immediate knee jerk reaction? Oh, I have copy and content. I'll have it done in 15
That is
minutes.
exactly what I would do. Yep.
Okay. But if you didn't,
Whew.
or someone who has no clue how to write a sales letter, they give up before they even got started. But if I said to you, okay, hey, look, let's come up with a headline. Now let's come up with a pre headline. Now let's come up with a subheadline. Now let's just write a one sentence hook opener. Now let's write a story about how you got the results that you're helping people with. Now let's come up with 5 bullets about whatever, about the payoffs. Now let's, and you see what I'm saying there?
Yep.
Now all of a
Yep.
sudden we've broken it down into these chunks that you might not know how to do, but it's a lot easier to figure out how to do. And so, but what happens this time of year, the people that burn out are the ones who are like, oh, I'm going. Okay. And then the other ones who are like, yeah, I'm going, I'm getting there. We want to have the happy medium. And what I have found, how many meaningful, like when we're talking about a project and we're talking about doing a project while you have a whole bunch of other things that's going on in something called a life, how many truly meaningful actions or activities can you take in a day?
Phew. I mean,
Two? Is that what you said?
minimal. I mean, you can do a whole lot of stuff in a day,
A
but
whole lot of sub steps,
right.
okay, but a
Yeah.
meaningful action or set of actions or something like that. And especially when you're grafting it onto an existing life and an existing business and
Yeah.
activities and stuff.
I mean, be honest with you, maybe one and
One or two.
two if I change it completely. Like creative stuff I can get done in the morning, afternoon stuff is all admin, but both have its energy, but I
Right.
can't do more than that.
So maybe if we defined it as a step,
Yeah.
you take 1 to 2 meaningful steps in a day
Yeah.
when you have a so-called life. That's why I say the easiest business, the easiest project ever to do is the first one because you have nothing else going on.
Mm.
But here's another thing you got to remember, and this is something that I've forgotten and a lot of people forget, is that okay, today you worked out, right? Did you wear your PT gear? You had
I
on
did.
your PT clothes. Okay.
I did.
What did you when you came home, did you take a shower, please? Hope you did.
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm so proud. Okay,
Yes.
now tomorrow when you work out, I don't want you to change out of your pajamas. I want you to put your PT gear on top of your pajamas. Now I
Mm.
want you to go down and I want you to work out and then I want you to sit in the sauna. Then I want you to put on your winter coat, go out to your truck, come home, take a shower. Don't take anything off. Take a shower and then put on your pants and your sweatshirt. Okay. Then I want you to go throughout your day and then I don't take anything off. Put your pajamas on, new set of pajamas on, and I want you to repeat that for the next 5 days. What would you look like at the end of 5 days?
Yeah. Like that
You'd look
kid on
like
the yeah.
you'd look like
Christmas.
Ralphie's little
Yeah,
brother
yeah.
from A Christmas Story, right?
I was just about to say that. Yep.
Okay. So you'd be like this. Well, people do the same thing psychologically and activity wise in their businesses when they say at the beginning of the year, you know what, I'm going to start doing this and this and this and this. I'm going to start working out every morning. I'm going to have a Bible study group. I'm going to spend more time with my spouse. I'm going to prepare good, delicious, nutritious meals and I'm going to start reading an hour a day. I'm going to meditate every morning. All this stuff they say they're going to do. And
Yeah.
my question to you is, okay, what are you going to stop doing in order to be able to do those things? And that's when everybody, the brakes go on their mind, like, holy shit, what am I going to stop doing?
Yeah.
And that's why it doesn't work because you can't put on until you take off.
Yeah.
And so those would be a kind of a couple things that I would want to add to the discussion as you're planning this stuff off. Stu's not telling you go be a lazy sack of poo. He's telling you to breathe in and think. Give your body, mind, and spirit a chance to catch up.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when you have that time, you need to think through where you really want to go and plan out how you're really going to get there and then really commit to it and then take action on that every single day while maintaining a balanced life. And that means you're probably going to have to set some crap down. One thing you could set down is the 4 or 5 hours of TV you might be watching.
Yeah.
Just saying. I've said a lot, Stu.
I liked your action analogy. Did you make that up?
I did.
That's very good. You use a genie for that?
It was half me and half the genie.
That's a good one.
I knew the sequence that I wanted to do, and then I came up with most of the words, and I had it help me come up with, it was like a Wordle help thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. And whenever you started it, you used the word smart action,
Uh-huh.
which I like. The classic smart goals
Uh-huh.
analogy. Have you seen that one with
I have.
specific, measurable, achievable, um, relevant, and time bound?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just wrote those two things down on my post-it notes, Jim. I got smart and action.
There you go.
So,
Does that have potential for a future article?
oh yeah, it'd probably be an article at least. But I also have it on my handy dandy analog calendar.
Holy
I just
crap.
bought. I just bought from Office Depot for $5. I'm ready for 2026.
What's the year on that? Is that like 2002, and you just put a 6 on the end of it and crossed out the 0? They still sell those?
Oh yeah, that's all. Yeah, as soon as you walk
Okay.
in, as soon as you walk in, It- Office Depot is for old people like me.
Okay. I think that's awesome, dude. I mean, those it's hey, it's right there. It's in your face.
I see my life one day at a time, and it just helps. It just helps me think about what I got to do, what I want to do, what I can fit in. You know,
Say that again.
what do you mean?
You said what I got to do, but then you said what I want to do.
Yeah, what I have. Yeah, what I have to do, what I want to do, and how to fit it in.
What's the difference between I have to do and I want to do?
Now that's a good question. No, things I want to do have to do with um more personal life stuff. Go for a walk in between things that I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to go after this conversation. I want to walk to the swimming pool, go coach kids on swimming, and then walk back. It's about a half mile away, half mile back. You know
You
that.
used to drive that?
Yeah, I'm embarrassed that I used to drive that. So I am walking it now. It is 28 degrees here, but
Be
still
careful when
I'm
there's ice
walking.
on the street, okay?
That
I mean,
is
I
true.
don't need you with a
Yeah.
busted hip.
I almost slipped this morning.
What
But
would Jesus?
yeah.
What would happen if you changed have to do with get to do?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. You know what? That's a really good point because I don't have to do any of this. I get to because I am an entrepreneur and business owner for the last 25 years. I made a decision that I wanted to work for me. And yeah, I get to do my to do list that I do every day, meet deadlines, you know. Yeah, absolutely. It's a complete mind changing, attitude changing phrase that can make a big difference in how you see the things that you have to do each day. You get to
Get to
do
do
each
each
day.
day.
Yeah.
I'm preaching to myself.
Oh
It,
no,
it,
no.
it's
It's
it's one
good.
of those things. But one of the things that I've figured out, and we had a conversation yesterday, you and I catching up, um, and a lot of people who follow us and whatnot are of a certain age. I don't typically attract the 20 somethings. Um, but this is it's like this isn't practice. This is like the third quarter or fourth quarter. This is game time. This is everything we do counts. Everything we do matters. And we need to be strategic. We need to be smart. We need to do it like it matters because it does.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we really we really needs we need to remind ourselves of every day. I know I need to remind myself. It's game time. And when you're working, it's game time. It's
Yeah.
it's the playoffs. It's whatever you want to do. And when it's family time, it's real family time.
Yeah.
Family won't be with you forever. You won't be with them forever. It's just that maybe I'm going into my stoic phase
Mm, yeah.
where and all the stuff that goes with that. But I just that's something that's really come home to me is that fitness is now fitness for the rest of your life, not I want to look good on the beach, because that ain't happening. Nor does it matter,
Right.
but spending time with loved ones, because spending time with loved ones, being smart with your money, because there's going to be a time when you're not going to be able to make any more. And
Yeah.
so you better have been strategic. All those things, get right with God, all that stuff. It's not practice. This is it. This is your one time around.
Yeah.
That's it. So
This
treat it
true.
that way. So anyway, well, that's cool. So, and then all of this said that I'll probably eat too much tomorrow.
Yeah. I've been playing around with some with some fasting.
Uh-huh.
Since Christmas after I stuffed myself Christmas
Yeah.
dinner. Um,
Yeah.
and I just want to see like how much food do I really need?
Not
And I
much.
haven't written an article about it yet,
Yeah.
but I'm going 24 hours without food is a little challenging, but not that hard if you time it right. Like going 12 hours without food and trying to go to sleep is kind of hard, right? You
Yeah.
need eat a little bit of food in your belly before you go to sleep. So
Uh-huh.
you have a little eating window between like 4 and 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, last meal I had was let's see, uh 6 o'clock last night. So
Okay.
I'm already 16 hours in.
When was your last cookie?
No cookies. No cookies. I got
What?
boiled eggs. Boiled eggs. So no, I'm just if I'm going to write about something, I like to test it out first. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of doing this combination article between intermittent fasting and keto, like trying to say which one do I like better, which
Yeah.
one's more doable, which one saw better results, and then I just use my experience in those to write about. So when I do write about something, I'm actually doing it. If everybody reads anything that I write. Uh,
Or you made me do it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're a guinea pig as well. Um, no, but it's really amazing. When I went a day first time, I was like, man, I feel fine. There's no big deal. And you know what got me to do it the first time?
What's
I
that?
was doing some reading on COVID because I had COVID like I don't know 3 or 4 months ago,
Yeah.
and I think it was in summer. Yeah, some in the summer. Um, and I was reading about spiked proteins in your body. Right,
Yeah.
it's like after you get COVID or even the shot, it spikes some proteins,
Yeah.
spiked proteins, and to
I
get
don't even
rid
know
of
what that means, but
yeah,
okay.
I don't know how to explain it well enough yet, so I'm working on it.
Okay.
Um, but anyway, um, that fasting can reset those, and you have to go like 18 hours to start seeing the results of that. I don't know if it does. I'm sure there's a test to see if I have spiked proteins or not, um, in my blood, but just wanted to see because I think if you have those, you're susceptible to long COVID. So it's just something to do a little research on is what I'm trying to do. So sometimes my articles that I write are take me 6 months to write because I'm testing out some things and trying to get a little smarter. But yeah,
Um, I'm not being a smartass, But could this be at all tied to the old thing of, and I don't even know if I'm saying this right, but feed a cold, starve a fever? I'm just asking. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if there wasn't some wisdom like that, that like, oh, holy crap, 1,000 years ago, that the old wives
The
thing,
yeah.
whatever,
I
actually
may I
worked.
may I may open with that, Jim. Good idea
Um,
when I
we have
write
a
it down.
question, Stu. A
Yes.
question about a question. Um, Jim, I want to ask a question. Can you hear our comments? No, but I can read. I can read them. How
That's
high should you aim in action? Um,
good question.
which actually, the sub question I hear in there is, how high should you aim at a goal? In other words, what's a realistic goal versus what's an unrealistic goal versus aiming too low? And so you need to separate the aim from the day-to-day action, the igniting it, the owning it, and the nailing it. Okay. I'll never be a brain surgeon. I will never be it. I'll never be a Navy SEAL. Okay. I'll never be a pilot, mainly because my wife won't let me. I really want to have my own helicopter, but Terry
Woo.
says no. So we're getting a minivan instead of a helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah. It's close.
I'm never going to be a rodeo cowboy. I can't. I'm not. My wife says no horse. We're getting a minivan instead. My point is, there's some things that for me are just not a realistic goal, because anything that God can put on my heart that I really want, to me, that's a realistic goal. Now, the question is, am I willing to pay the price to achieve it? Because where this comes together and taking the action is how many steps. It's kind of like how many licks to get the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop. You remember that, Stu?
Oh
A
yeah.
one, a two,
Honk.
a three. Three. Um, the
Wise old
number
owl.
of steps it would take for me to launch $1 million funnel, or how quickly I could take the actions to make that happen, are probably different than they are for other people. But I will tell you, if somebody had told me when I was 42 years old and I weighed 260 pounds, I was getting out of breath running to, or walking to the mailbox 300 yards from my front door. If someone would have told me within 2 years of that, I would have done 2 Go Ruck events and run 2 half marathons, I would have said, you're nuts. And so what I did was I set the aim of, I was going to be at my ideal weight and be capable of basic fitness. Okay. I didn't even want to run. I just wanted to be able to walk. I just wanted to, just to look normal again and to feel normal again. And so I had my aim, I committed to it. The only thing I did was just say, okay, in the morning, I'm going to walk. And that next morning, I went for a walk. And that led to all the great things that have happened to me physically, up, down, injuries, triumphs. I still remember the day I called Stu, I did 36 pull-ups in a row without stopping. He's like, holy crap, how'd you do that? I mean, did what you told me. um I've hurt myself, I've fixed myself, all of these things, but it all started with something that I believed I could achieve. Okay. Breaking it down into individual actions and taking action every single day. And the funny thing is that as you build momentum and as you have success, it will automatically, because as human beings, we want to expand, we want to grow, we want to evolve, we want to do better. One achievement leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. Momentum helps breed success. And then you'll meet people and you'll start hanging out with different people that expect different things from themselves. You're not going to get rich hanging out with poor people. You're not going to get in shape hanging out with fat people. So you're going to have to venture out there on your own some, and it's going to be scary. People are going to look at you funny. I remember walking and I had my little backpack on, and as I was losing weight, I stopped. I was losing weight pretty fast because it's easy to lose weight when you're real fat because it's like you're hauling a fat toddler around with you all the time. And then when you start losing weight, you stop losing it as quickly. So I took a backpack and started putting every pound I lost, I put a pound in the backpack. Well, that
Love
puppy
it.
got up to 35 pounds, and I'm like, holy crap, this is getting to be enough. So then I started walking a little quicker, and then I started doing a little shuffle. Then I was like, hey, I bet I could run a little bit. So I learned about chi running, and then I had all these micro fractures in my feet and stuff,
Mm.
but I didn't let it stop me. But I remember I was doing like a 5 miler, and one of my neighbors was like, what are you doing? And so I explained to him all excited and everything about how I was on my little fitness journey and everything. And and I remember the look that he gave me was somewhere between you're an idiot and don't get near me because it might be catching. And I realized that I was weird
Mm.
now. I was officially weird. And then when I'm walking out here, I don't ever see anybody else except the idiot with the two dogs. And the reason why I have to, protect myself now. Um, I'm kind of on a tangent, and I was so my point is that your goals will increase. If you have a goal that's already up here and you start, but you really, 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 really want it, then you're going to have to start down here and design steps and understand it's going to take a while. So you better set some milestones that you can celebrate in between. But taking action every single day is what makes the difference.
Yeah.
So,
I love the acronym for action, but don't forget the word action. You know what
yeah,
I mean? It's
yeah,
like get moving, get going, right? And if you're wondering like if
I
you're wondering
killed the fly.
what
Sorry.
kind of goal you want, use the SMART goal method, right? All you have to do is go to Google machine and type in SMART goal. You'll
Oh my
see
God.
you'll see
Yeah.
specific, measurable,
Right.
achievable, relevant, time
But
bound.
dude, in the end, I mean, like, do you have a system? Yeah. You want to see my system for getting stuff done? Stu has Stu's got his planning calendar. Here's how I get stuff done. I
Yeah.
take a piece of paper and a Sharpie and I write down the actions that I need to take today, and I check it off as I do it. That's how I do it, and I guess I've internalized that smart thing to the point where it's like I automatically look at something and say,
I could do that.
right,
Yeah.
but also, like, if something feels overwhelming, like I got to write a sales letter, or I got to, do product. Here's another one: do product launch.
Mm.
What the hell? Okay, that can't be a to do. That can't be an action.
No, yeah, that's not a day thing.
Right.
Yeah,
And yet that's on somebody's to do list. Launch my book.
right.
And you can't do that. So you've got to break stuff down into actions, just again, smart, bite-sized. Maybe I'll come up with one. I'm going to invent, bite-sized action. It's got to be balling, and it's got to be just I need help with that. um I think that's the other thing, though, is just to get in the habit of writing down what you're going to do today, and knowing that you have a plan so that you can see that these things are moving the ball forward, not moving the goalpost, but moving the ball forward. And so that when you get to the end of the day, you know that you did everything you could today to move the ball forward, and you know what you're going to do tomorrow. and set yourself up for success. But if you put shit on your to-do list that you can't get it done, and it doesn't create a win situation for you each day, you're screwing yourself, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing is, don't over analyze. That's the other thing. That is probably the biggest thing, is that so many people will just over analyze. If you've got a great plan, if you know where you're going, if you're committed to it, if you've trimmed off all the crap, if you've started momentum, keep taking action. Okay. And the easiest thing with that is take an action. Did it get me closer or further away? If it's getting me closer, keep doing it or take the next one. If it got me further away, okay, don't do that shit again, and keep doing that until you're done. But the people who overanalyze everything never get anything done.
Mm.
So I'm not saying blindly run forward like an idiot, okay? But I'm also saying you can sit back there and be an armchair quarterback of your own life as long as you want. You won't get anywhere.
Very true, Jim.
Man, that was quite the tangent from one question. That's why we normally don't take questions. All right, Stu, last thought for the year.
Take a deep breath. You know, the first thing you do when you're alive is you take a breath. The last thing you do when you're alive is you exhale one more time, and learn how to do it well. Learn how to breathe. Breathe to relax, breathe to pep yourself up, breathe to calm down. So I am being very intentional about my personal stress levels and trying to breathe through it. And it does calm you down. Take a walk, do some box breathing while you walk, and come back and handle what you got to handle. Um, and I think you'll be better off for it. You'll feel better, sleep better, and then that in turn will be a gigantic snowball for you to recover with, because in the end, it matters how well you sleep every night.
100%. I was just going to end it there. So
Cool.
we appreciate y'all. If you're not a member of CopyandContent.AI, you should be. Lots of amazing stuff coming this next year. Some things that we'll start demonstrating here in the next month or two. But some really, I showed Stu some stuff yesterday, and he was like, "Holy crap!"
Oh, yeah. It'll be good.
Really amazing stuff coming. So we appreciate y'all, and we will see you next year. Bye bye, everybody.